Hi guys, today's March 30th. I'm on here to tell you of a dream that I had and to give you another article update that just came out. Okay, so I dreamt that I was in the country and there was a bunch of boys that were on a bike and my daughter was with one of them. And it was day out, and then my daughter Olivia got a phone call. She hopped off her bike and said, "We have to go to the hospital." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because my friend is having her baby right now." So Jeremy, which is my husband, and all of us, and my sister Brittany, we all went to the hospital. We get there, and my husband said he was staying put, not going to follow us. I said, "Okay." Somehow, my sister Brittany grabbed the baby, with lots of other people piling into this elevator to get us to the first floor. And I said, "Wow, that's a big boy. He's 8 pounds, 13 ounces. We were excited, the elevator, when we realized that we were in the wrong hospital. I said, "If she has a C-section, the baby cannot be born here at Greenbush Arnett. But at IU, she can." Mind you, the baby was already born, right? But yet she was having a baby. And she said, "We got to leave, but instead we flew in a helicopter there." And this was in Lafayette. And then I get out and the baby wasn't with us. I said, "Crap, I have Jeremy's keys," which is my husband. And I have both sets. And Brittany said, "Don't worry about it. He needs to stay put so nothing bad happens to us," and woke up. Okay, what I got is about the Revelation 12 sign, and that the baby is about to be born, but we were raptured out just like the Israelites, God's people, where he says in the midst as the dragon comes after them, they were taken up. The male child was taken up, and then she was into the wilderness for 1,260 days, which is 42 months, the rule of Antichrist. And he got mad, so he stayed put. And instead of going after the Israelites, or the Hebrews, God's people, into the wilderness, he turned around and took it out on the saints. Okay? And that's kind of the same representation that it is meaning. Okay? And in the Bible, when Jesus was speaking, he said, "You must be born again and to enter upon my kingdom." And the disciples said, "Well, how can we be born again? How can we go back in our mother's womb?" And he was saying, you can't be born again twice. You have to be born again with the Holy Spirit, washed. I'm paraphrasing because I don't have my Bible open. But, so in order to get to heaven and raptured, you got to be born again, right? And that's what that was speaking of. The name, Brittany means kind-hearted and beautiful, and Olivia means peace, an olive tree. And the baby's weight, 8 pounds, 13 ounces, 813 in the Strong's means out of order. So out of order and chaos comes our rescue. So right now we are in that time of chaos, and we know that order comes from chaos. Okay, and then this article, I guess it was posted the 19th, but it just came out today. And what I mean by that, it was just up on their website. Now the end begins. ID 2020 announces work is completed on first ever certification mark for Kiva protocol, implementing a global digital ID for buying and selling. ID 2020 announced plans to launch the first certification mark for digital identity at the 2019 World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The ID 2020 certification mark recognizes digital identity solutions that adhere to the highest standards for user management, privacy protection, portability, and interoperability. Globally, 1 in 7 people are unable to prove their identity through any recognized means. As a result, they lack access to basic legal protections and social services, are unable to participate fully as citizens and voters, and are systematically excluded from the modern economy. Well, I call that just being off the radar so you don't get found. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what I was saying about the Census Bureau. That's why I don't participate in it. As the world economies are teetering on the edge of a near certain implosion from the man-made coronavirus panic, ID 2020 has finished work on something they call their certification mark, a name bursting at the seams with prophetical irony. NTEB, of course, is on their mailing list, and they were more than happy to send us an End Times update today. And we are thrilled to share it with you, our awesome NTEB family. Okay, so this came out today, like I was saying. But they've been in the making of this for the past 20 years. Okay, and they have 25 volunteer people to help with this application from all over the world, from the U.S. on. Okay, and then Revelation 13:16-18. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy, sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay, so there's 3 ways you can take it. You can have an implantation, you can have a marking, or you can have a number of some sort. Okay, let him that have, that he might buy, sell, that save the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And his number is 666. And that number of a man, we already know is going to be the Antichrist. Okay, and then I'm going to read you a little bit more, and then I'm going to stop here. We recognize that our COVID-19 may require shifts in strategy for our program partners, given unforeseen impacts and necessary reprioritization. While we believe it is vital to press forward with the programs that support good digital ID and to use this moment to invest proactively in resilience against future threats, we will work with our grantees and partners to adapt plans as necessary. Work on the certification mark continues unabated. Last week, we announced the first 2 ID certified solutions, Kiva Protocol and Gravity Earth. Fortunately, our team is accustomed to working remotely, so we will continue to process new applications for the certification mark in the coming months. They've already said that this ID is going to be completely out worldwide, and all of America will have to take it by October. Okay, so we are literally down to the nitty-gritty. All right, and then, let's see. I'm going to read you something else. All right, here we go. Back in October of 2019, NTEB was one of the first to bring you the news that ID 2020 and the United Nations were partnering with the tech companies and Big Pharma to create a digital ID that could be inserted at the time of receiving a vaccination. Wow. Wow. That's all I got to say. It was big news then, but it's huge news now because of the coronavirus and certainly coming mandatory vaccine shot. You guys, we will keep you posted as the developments towards the end heat up, but in the meantime, stay vigilant. Okay? Romans 13:11-12. And know, and that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. You guys need to understand that Jesus is coming. And one of the things that I'm fairly certain is that the coronavirus panic will produce its digital IDs that will in return be connected with the vaccines. Okay, and in the meantime, we'll be here in the front lines of the end times, right? Keeping you informed on the lateness of the hour, and brothers and sisters, it's ever late. You guys need to understand this is extremely important. Don't take this vaccine, don't take the chip, don't take anything if you happen to be left behind. Now, one last thing that was sent to me, and I'm going to tell you my opinion. I believe that this that was sent to me is truth. And the reason why is because I've not only seen videos, but there was articles and things of that has been out talking about this. So this is from Haley Cripps, whoever that is. This is a text from an NHS worker. As of tomorrow, do not leave home for bread or anything, because the worst begins tomorrow as the incubation date is met and many people that are positive with the virus start to peak. It's at this time other people are most vulnerable, so it's very important to stay home and not be in contact with anybody, even family members of your family if possible. Be very careful. It's very important and very crucial at this time. As from tomorrow, we are going to see the start of the peak of those that are positive. Then there will be 2 weeks of calm and then 2 weeks where it decreases. What happens in Italy is that they neglected the contagion period, and that is why all cases turned out together and so badly. Plus, they didn't know what they were dealing with. And finally, please do not receive visits from anyone, not even from the same family. This is all for the good of all. We will be in the maximum stage of infection. Do not hold on to this message. Pass it along to all your contacts. I actually believe that, because they have been saying that there is an incubation period and when it's going to spread like wildfire. And I believe that's why Trump extended our quarantine, and it's just going to continue being this way until the vaccine ID, all that comes into play, till the beast system rises. So we're leaving soon. Remember, God's going to protect us, like in my dream, as we're caught up, and the Antichrist will not be able to harm God's people, those who are chosen now. I mean, not talking about tribulation saints, talking about people now. So Jesus is coming. Stay awake, stay alert, and see you there in the air.